So we're in the debate, and we are starting with Team A versus Team D. Team A is against the statement, and Team D is in favor of the statement. So now, the first proposer from Team A will pronounce his or her statement. You can start.
Our statement is the educational system is not designed only for extroverts, but for everyone. I have to share a presentation. Do I share screen?
You can share your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to talk about why the educational system is not only designed for extroverts. When we think of an introverted people, we think that they are shy, that they are quiet spoken, and they are afraid of people. And generally, we think that they don't like social interactions or physical contact. But all of this is not true, because each introvert is different. The difference between introvert and extrovert is a big spectrum. So we have some middle positions where people might like one thing and not other. An introvert is a person who feels more comfortable focusing on inner thoughts and inner ideas rather than external matters. But it does not mean that they don't like interaction with other people. I think that introversion shouldn't be seen as a negative trait, because there's a big misconception that being an introvert for many people has some connotations like being socially awkward or hating people, but it is not true. Being an introvert only means that you prefer some time to be alone rather than being with other people. But some people blame their shyness or the lack of a skill like emotional intelligence or socializing to introversion. So this has generated an stereotype that is not completely true. Introverted people might seem socially awkward or bad at small talk because of this stereotype that has been created. Susan Cain, who is the only expert about this topic that we have found, says that introverts are not smarter than extroverts. And according to IQ scores, the two types are equally intelligent. That is true. And she also says on her book, Quiet, the Problem of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking, that on many kinds of tasks, particularly those performed under time or social pressure or involving multitasking, extroverts do better. Extroverts are better than introverts at handling information overload. Well, I'm going to explain more about this quote because I'm going to analyze some of the points that she said. The main part is that extroverts are better than introverts at handling information overload. You might think that this quote is a normal one, but is it completely correct? Because we don't think so. The first problem is that the data does not have a concrete origin, because it might come from a study or it might come from personal experience. So she doesn't say where does it come from. The second problem is that the quote is a generalization, because not all introverted people are the same, and it's part of a spectrum, so everyone is not affected in the same way. The third problem is that she's, again, contributing to that stereotype that we have explained before. And the fourth problem is that because of the previous problem, she's encouraging people to blame their problem, in the case of this quote, being worse at handling information overload, on their introversion, which might not take part in it. And now I'm going to talk about the effect of the things that I told before in schools. In the papers that we received, it said that maybe the school system wasn't designed especially for introverts. But I think, and my group also thinks, that there are activities that we do at school, most of them are designed for both, because it has good parts for every type of people. For example, team projects might seem something more designed for extroverts, but it also allows introverts to get involved with their peers and let them choose a role inside of that group, even though it also benefits the extroverts. Sometimes, instead of team projects, we can do pair work which is less demanding than larger teamwork, but it also allows the share of ideas and talking between different people. Self-assessment is also really good for introverts because it allows them to qualify their own work and think of what they've done, while extrovert people, they can share their thoughts of what they've done. And discussions help both types of people because they are given an opportunity to get involved and hear each other's ideas. What we propose to make school good for everyone is the diversity, which is what is being done right now. We don't only do a single type of activity, but we do different ones. We have a wide variety, and this wide variety provides a big probability that one of them will be perfect for you. However, this also means that there will be some activities that you might not enjoy, or they might not help you as much as other people. So, if instead of blaming our lack of experience or ability on introversion or type of personality, we work to improve it, or we share our problems with other people who can help us, we can enjoy school as a most enjoyable experience, or anything, not only school, but our daily life can be a better process. And that's all.
Okay, thank you, Dario. A reminder, please, all of you, turn your cameras on, because I need to see what you're doing. Cameras must be on all times. All times. So, turn your cameras on. Because I don't know if you're playing, if you're reading, if you're watching TV. We're in class, remember. So we're in class. Fran, Cristian, Jorge, cameras on.
Pero si la mía está encendida, pero no sé por qué no soy.
I don't know. Try again.
A mí no me deja encenderla.
Creo que no tiene cámara conectada.
I don't know. Okay, so let's continue. The other team, it's your turn for questions. Who is going to ask any question to the team?
Claudia, Christian, and me, but Claudia can't get in again.
Oh,
I don't.
you can start.
Me.
Marta, start with your question.
But shouldn't we wait for Claudia?
But how many questions are there?
I mean, we have some. Claudia has them. Claudia was supposed to ask questions that we have, and then Christian and me will say some questions about what Dario said.
Okay, but maybe start while Claudia enters, and let's see if anyone can talk to Claudia.
I'm going to ask her the questions, and I'll tell them.
Fernando, one
Yes?
question to you.
Yes.
Maybe I'm thinking wrong, but in a debate, can people share their thoughts to make the question?
Depends on the debate. This is a very structured debate. We have chosen a structure. There are many debate structures, so this is our structure. So yes, they can, but not in this case.
Very.
Marta, Christian, do you have any question?
Okay. I see. We have some.
Okay. But it's about what Dario said, but it doesn't mean that Dario has to answer. Any member of the team can answer, and you can ask the question to any member of the team.
Okay. So Dario's team. You have said some things about how helps introversion and all that things, but do you think that schools take into account the thoughts and the personality of an introvert?
I think that the schools take into account the personality of every member because not all the tasks that we do are only for extroverts or introverts. We do collaborative tasks because it's necessary for us, but for example, the exams, I think that is more for introverts as we are like alone performing a task and also, the extroverts do better, like give better her opinion by oral tasks and writing tasks. So I think this part is more for introverts. So I think that they take into account both.
Okay. Christian, what's your question?
My question is, do you consider that the educational system take into account the personality of introverts?
Christian, where were you while Marta was asking? I think it's the same question.
Yeah, sorry. What do you think goes through the head of an introvert person during a class presentation?
Sophia, you already answered. I need another member of the team. This is an oral exam, eh? This is an oral exam. No one? Christian, repeat the question, please.
What do you think goes through the head of an introvert person during a class presentation?
Hugo, Hector, I need you to talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
That maybe they are a little bit embarrassed because they are like most self-focused and they are not accustomed ready to talk with a lot of people and just focus on their own.
Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
I think that the question is also influenced by the misconception that I talked in the presentation, that all introverted people are shy. Maybe a person prefers to be on their own, but doesn't have a problem with sharing the information with a big group of people or speaking in public. So I think it's part of a misconception and the stereotype that some people like Susan have generated.
Okay, interesting. And do you know something about Claudia?
Dice que, sorry. She said that she's restarting the computer and she's going to see if she can get in now.
Okay, so before Claudia comes, as there is another turn for questions, it is time for the speaker. Oh, Claudia, hello! So, you have to ask one of the questions which haven't been asked. You have 3 questions, and there is a question, we have asked, there is a question left, but I don't know if you know which have been already asked. The questions were, Marta? Which did you ask?
Wait, we asked the one that of the presentation and the one of the introvert personality.
So, Claudia, you have to ask the other question you have prepared.
I think we only have 2, but I can't tell anything. I mean, I can ask something.
Yes, do that. Improvise. It's a debate.
So,
It's for Hugo, so...
okay. Do you think that a person who is introvert will feel comfortable in front of people while presenting or having a talk?
Nice. What do you think, Hugo?
I think is like more or less like the other question that is like the misconception of and the stereotype of of the introvert people. But I think that any people during a presentation can be nervous uh, if the people is introvert or extrovert. Um, yes, it's depend of the people. No, I think that it no depend of if they are extroverts or introverts.
Okay, thank you, Hugo. So now you have had your question turn. It's your time for your speaker to provide us with his speech. I think it is Roberto, the speaker.
Presente.
Okay, so you can start and you can share your screen if you feel you need to.
No, I haven't prepared any presentation.
Okay, so we're ready.
Okay, I will start saying like some characteristics universities have uh, tell like obtain about extroverted learners and introverted learners, and I will like add maybe some points to change about classroom learning styles because as we our group see it is like uh, the schools are made for extroverts. Dario said a very good thing about the that not introverts are all equal and not extroverts are all equal because it's true, but if we don't treat them like this, it would be like very strange to like to say some different point of views. So extroverted learners, while working, like they are normally feeling quite comfortable, but maybe they feel more comfortable in like more crowded groups. They enjoy getting to know a lot of people, uh, not only like out of schools. Mm, it is like they enjoy getting to know at first with them, and they feel like silly people normally when they spend too much time alone. This is like getting everyone in the same pack, like a form of saying, but they are like studies that said that. So I think it's a good point to answer the question of why schools are made for extroverts. For instance, now in this school year, we have done well in the since first years of ESO, we have like been doing presentations all years, like maybe at least one per month and sometimes more than one per week even. So this for maybe for introverts who doesn't like meeting other people or feel extremely uncomfortable, like Hector said during presentations, it's extremely bad. And also the problem is that, of course, teachers require participation and base student grades on these presentations, on these like works that they need to share with people, and well, they need to share time with people to do this work, or even sharing well, even being embarrassed while presenting it. And this can be like introverts nightmare because they don't feel comfortable when doing that. Also, these speak apps well, when they are told to speak up in classes, um, maybe or even socialize, these things can cause like stress and anxiety. Not for all of them, but maybe for most of them. So it would be like not making it compulsory in some of the classes uh, we are taking. For instance, well, I don't remember any of the classes we have had with Marina that we weren't like forced to talk with other students or even with the teacher. Like in classes with Marina, normally we need to get in pairs for doing an activity or like being answering some questions that maybe we don't feel comfortable. So we when answering them. So these are like a point to bear in mind when talking about that schools are made for extroverts. And finally, something that I would like to say is creating safe spaces for like for participation when the introverts are. This is a solution. When the introverts feel more comfortable when they are presenting, like if I'm now not very comfortable, I would be like suffering when talking here. But if we like don't feel comfortable, if we feel comfortable about presenting, it would be like better for the introvert people. So that's why we think uh, schools are made for extroverted learners and not for introverted ones.
Okay, Roberto, very good points. Food for thought. Now the other team is holding the button to ask questions. Who's going to ask the first question and who's going to answer?
Me and answer quien quiera.
Okay. Sofia, this is an English test, please.
It's for the group. The person who wants
Okay.
can answer.
Okay.
What do schools have to change so that they are for both introverts and extroverts?
So,
Okay,
who are the members?
answer.
Marta? Yes.
So I think that maybe, as Roberto said, like we are forced to be put in pairs or in group, for example, and maybe doing that option or giving more options for doing the homework at class.
Okay, Roberto wants to add something.
Yes, I think one solution for making like classes for introverts and extroverts is give students a choice, either being like in a group of people while working or only or alone, but not saying, well, you have this unit to explain in a presentation, and if you are alone you need to study all the unit, and if you are in a group of 8 maybe you have to study only one line. So being fair about that, not giving a choice but not being unfair.
Okay, interesting. I will note that down. Any other question, Hugo?
Yes, that introvert,
Hector?
as Roberto said, introverted people feel uncomfortable while doing presentation, but do extroverts feel uncomfortable doing exams or individual tasks?
What do you think, Tim?
I think so.
You think so?
Yes.
I think that
Claudia?
maybe they feel not uncomfortable, but they are not used to that and they prefer to talk with other people and to have interaction with other people, but I don't think that they feel uncomfortable.
I mean, maybe exams are just uncomfortable for us, uncomfortable for
Yes.
everyone. I don't know. I don't know. Who else has a question? You are one less, right,
Yes,
Roberto?
we are one
You
less.
were just four. But Dario?
We are one less. But I
So,
can ask another one if you want.
okay. Who wants to ask Dario? Ask a question so that Christian answers.
During the presentation, it was said that introverted people feel uncomfortable while maybe speaking in public with people that they don't know or while meeting new people. But in class, they are explaining their concepts to people that they already know or they have been in class with at least months or maybe years. So why do they feel uncomfortable if they don't know the people?
Any answer? Christian?
I don't know what to answer to this question, but I think that Dario have what Dario says is true. If you don't know the people that you are presenting, that you are doing the presentation, you may be more uncomfortable. But if you are with people that you have known for years, might you might feel more comfortable than other ones.
Or not? Maybe
But
it's
it
because
depends on
you're
the
not
person.
maybe you're not an introvert, Christian. I don't
Yes,
mind
I'm not an
who
introvert.
is. So that's why you haven't maybe thought that,
Fernando, don't answer.
or Dario isn't an extrovert either. But I think Lydia has something to say.
Yes. Like
Thanks.
if you are an introvert, it doesn't matter if you have known these people for years, because you are going to be an introvert all your life. So you are going to be nervous and uncomfortable in the same way. And it does it like it doesn't matter if you know them or not. From my point of view.
Okay, Roberto?
As I see it, and as I said in the presentation, is not knowing them but feeling safe or like being like comfortable while you are like meeting them or presenting a work. Not only knowing them is not the same.
Okay. So, any member of the other teams have any question? No? Can you vote on who do you think won the debate? Not the people with inside the groups. Irene, who do you think won the debate? What was your opinion before the debate?
My opinion was that schools are not made for introverts. So I think that's the team that won because they convinced me
Okay.
even more than I was.
Okay. Lydia? Has any of the teams made you change your
Lydia
mind?
is from our team.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry, Lydia. Nerea? You can say? Okay, I think it's a tie. Let's leave it at a tie.
No, Fernando. No, Fernando.
What do you think,
I
Fernando?
mean, I have my opinion, and my opinion is that I think that the team that supports my opinion supported it really well. But if I say so, I'm not marking
No,
you. Is
just
Marina's
say no.
going to mark you?
Fernando, we are in a debate. You need to say who won.
No, I don't think. I think there are very strong points on both sides. I think the team who thinks that the school system is not only made for extroverts has good points, and it is true. We are evolving and we are adapting, but just the fact that we are like 30 people inside a room makes it difficult. But the point that the introvert team made were very accurate, and there are no solutions for that. And those make me think, you're right, as an English teacher, I have to assess this. I have to assess communication. Maybe I should think about other means of assessing communications. But we do. We ask podcasts from you. We ask videos from you, something you can do on your own. So yes, I think it's a tie because, as Dario said, things are changing, but as Roberto said, not as fast or as good as we could change them. So for me, it's a tie. End of this debate. I'm stopping this recording, and then we'll start the other, okay?